What's up guys, and welcome back to part 14 of this Mercedes minibus campervan conversion. So if you're new to the series or the channel, parts 1 to 13 converting this entire minibus, stripping it all the way down to the bare chassis and building it right back up to as you've seen now, are fully documented on my channel in parts 1 to 13, so if you haven't had a look at those, feel free to have a look on my channel, visit through the previous episodes to get caught up. And as I say, we're now about to start episode 14. And in this episode I'm going to be fitting the shower into the bathroom area. I've got a mixer shower here, and I've just got some of the John Guest fittings to be able to convert it from the BSP to the 12mm John Guest Speed Fit water pipe connections that's going to be getting fitted throughout this vehicle for all of the water fixtures and fittings. So to get the shower fitted and the riser bar mounted on, I'm going to be having to drill a few holes through the shower board wall, mounting them on the underside, so I'm going to be cutting away some of the insulation just to make way for all of the mounting points for the shower head and the water pipes to go down as well. So I'll also be taking these panels off and feeding the water pipes down under the floor, and then they'll be fed under the chassis. And in one of the later episodes I'll be mounting a water heater probably under the back of this sofa bed area as well, and that's where all of the water fixtures and fittings are going to be terminated back to, where there's going to be a water heater and a Shurflo water pump and a water accumulator all there as well. But as I say, first things first, I need to get the shower in place, start to get some of the water pipes fed, and then that'll be the bathroom almost pretty much done, with just the toilet to mount later on. But again, I've got to get more water pipes fed for the water for the toilet and some 12 volt as well. So this episode, it's just going to be more getting the shower in place, getting some of the water pipes fed, and if there's any time left, we'll see if we can get any other jobs done in the meantime. So let's get some safety gear out, some tools out, some equipment out, get cracked on, and see how far we get done with this episode. Right, so there's the mixer shower fitted in and fully secured, and that isn't going anywhere at all at the moment. Given a good shake and there's just no movement on it at all, so it's nice and secure. So now I'm going to get the riser bar for the actual shower head fitted. This just has a couple of mounting positions that need again screwing through the wall, and this is going to go above the riser, so there's going to be a mount round about there, get screwed through the wall, and then we'll get the riser bar on for the shower head, get the actual pipework fitted in as well, and then we can move around the backside and start getting some of the cold water fed and some of the hot water pipes fed down inside the wall as well. But it's coming along nicely, so as I say, I'm going to crack on now, get this riser bar fitted, and see if there's any more time left in the day to do any more jobs. Right, so I've got the pipework fed down through the dividing wall for the shower,
and down under the flooring, and all of the pipework's under the flooring, now waiting to be connected up to the pump and the accumulator tank, things like that. But before I put the pipework onto the connections for the shower, I'm going to be using some inserts for the John Guest 12mm speed fit pipework. Should be using these inserts especially where there's going to be hot water, but I use them on all pipework just to be sure, because obviously any hot water going through pipework can make it a little bit more flexible, and if you don't use the inserts you might get little dribbles of leaks coming out. So it's always advisable to use the inserts when you're using the 12mm John Guest speed fit type stuff. So I'm going to get a couple of these inserts fitted in, get this pipework connected on, then that'll be pretty much the shower pretty much installed. Right, so that's the hot and cold water fed under the bus with the inserts on, and they're both connected into the John Guest BSP converters that are connected to the shower head. I've then just put some offcuts into the insulation just for the pipe to feed down inside the insulation itself. So like there, as you can see, there's a full channel going all the way down the insulation, just to be sure that the pipes themselves are fully insulated and the wall is insulated as much as possible as well. So now the pipes are in, I can get the final panels back on here, and I can also start to get this panel cladded up now as well. I just had to wait until the water pipes were in before I could start cladding this particular wall as well. So I'm going to get these little panels secured back on. Then, as I say, I'll start cladding it, and that'll be the shower pretty much done. Right guys, so it's the next day. I was hoping to get a little bit more done yesterday, as well as getting the shower mounted in place. But typically, when I was fitting the shower, I realised that I couldn't find the correct hole size for the hole saw to get the pipes drilled through the CLS timbers. So by the time I went out to the shops, got a new hole saw kit, then got everything fitted in place, pretty much the day was pretty much done. So now it's the following day, and I'm going to be cracking on doing a little bit more prep for the water work. So today I'm going to be fitting in the Shurflo water pump and the Fiamma water accumulator. Now I'll put links to everything that I'm going to be fitting in this conversion in the description of each part below. So if you're looking for a similar pump or a similar water accumulator tank, have a look in the description below. There'll be links going off to where I bought all of these items. Now I'm not going to be able to get all the pipework fitted, because these do need some converters to change the connections from the BSP across to the 12mm John Guest speed fit connections. But I'll still be able to get them in place, get the pipework ran up to them, and then I'll just get the connections put on when they finally arrive after having to order them online. Normally I'd buy some of this stuff locally from one of my local caravan and campervan supply shops, but with all the lockdown that's going on, everything's having to be bought online instead, and obviously there's some delays with some of the items arriving. But it's still not going to stop me being able to get them mounted in place, and most of the water stuff is going to be mounted in the back area beneath the sofa bed at the rear of the vehicle. I'm hoping to get the Truma water heater under that side, and I'm going to be putting the pump and the tank under this side around about this corner as well. It makes sense to have it all here, because directly beneath me on this floor is where I've got both the freshwater and the wastewater tank as well. So having the pumps close to the tank just means there's not going to be huge amounts of pipework run going from the tank to the pump and then onto the appliances. So I'm going to get some safety gear out, some tools out, get these unboxed, make sure I'm going to be mounting them in the right places. I'm going to get cracked on, get the pump and the tank in place, get some more of the water pipework fitted underneath the vehicle as well, and if there's any more time we might get a couple more bits and bobs done as well. We'll have a look, but either way it's going to be a good weekend's work, getting the shower in place and getting both the tank and the pump in place as well. So let's get cracked on. Right, so that is the Shurflo water pump and the Fiamma water accumulator, both mounted onto the wall. I've just put an additional bit of ply bracing on there as well, just to be sure that they're nice and solid, And if I try and give those a wiggle, you can see there's just no movement there at all. Now the Shurflo pump is one of the ones that came with the inline water filter as well. So I've got that fitted in, and I've also used some of the usual PFTE tape just to be sure that all the fixtures and fittings are going to be nice and secure and watertight as well. Now as I say, I can't put the little connections between the two because I need some BSP to 12mm John Guest converters to be able to go onto either of these ends. Then I'll be able to get a little bit of speed fit pipe between the two. But at least they're mounted on now, so now I can start routing some water pipes as well. So now I'm going to drill a hole down through the floor. That's where the cold water is going to be feeding into the fresh water tank as well. So we'll be able to get some of the pipe work ran, ready to be connected up when I do get the converters through the post. So let's get cracked on and get some water pipes ran in. Right, so I've got the water pipe fed from underneath the floor. So that's the inlet for the freshwater tank, sorry, the outlet for the freshwater tank as well. So I'm going to be feeding the blue pipe across to there, but I'm also going to be fitting a T-piece with a on-off valve and a drain bit of pipe as well. So if you wanted to drain the entire system, there'll be a little switch under here, little lever, flip that over, and that'll drain both the tank and all of the water pipe work as well. Just for a quick easy way to get it all drained out. So I'm going to get some of this pipe work cut down, get the T-piece in place, get the lever on-off switch in place, and we'll get the fresh water pipe from the tank ready to go up to the pump. Right, so there we go, that is the cold water connected to the fresh water tank. I've also got a quick emergency drain outlet there with an on-off valve, so if in an emergency you had to drain the entire system, flick that little valve over and that will drain both the tank and all of the water pipe work as well. So it just needs tacking up with a couple of securing clips. I'll do that later on because there's still plenty more water pipe work to do under the van, but this is just a quick first fit to get some of the pipe work in place. So, as I say, that's the cold water all connected up. So, I'm going to crack on and get some more water pipes fed for some of the other appliances. Right guys, so that'll do it for this week's episode. It's been a relatively productive weekend. As I say, I managed to get the mixer shower in. I've got the end caps on them as well, so that's all mounted and looking nice. Got the water fed down for the toilet, as well as the 12-volt electric cable. I have the water pump and the accumulator mounted with the pipework going down under the bus. As I say, I'm just waiting for some BSP to 12mm John Guest converters. Then I'll be able to get the pipework finally connected on. I've managed to then also get the other side of the shower wall fully cladded out as well, because now the water pipes are all fed down into the wall. That was the only reason why I was leaving this wall with the cladding left to do, and now all the pipe work's fed underneath. This wall's now cladded on as well. And off camera I also have just put a little bit of cladding above the window in the bedroom as well, and I'm just going to leave that to set up overnight with these props in place as well. So as I say, that's not a bad weekend's work at all. Next episode, hopefully I'm going to try and get the Truma water heater fitted in the back of the vehicle, round about roughly in that corner of the sofa bed. Once that's in, I'll then be able to start running some of the hot pipe work from the shower unit across and back up to where the water heater is going to be mounted, and I'll also be able to start running some of the hot water pipe work across under the bus to where the sink's going to be in this kitchen area as well. So as I say, it's not a bad weekend's work that. If you haven't seen all the previous episodes of this conversion, click on my channel. They're all documented there. Parts 1 to 13 are already on the channel already. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to try and keep up with the weekly updates showing the progress I managed to make in this conversion week by week as it goes by. And if you made it all the way through to the video as well, consider giving the video a good old thumbs up as well. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't mind either way. It all helps the channel build and grow. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the work of the progress so far as well. Hopefully you like it. I think it's coming along quite nice as well. So let me know in the comments. Give the video a good old thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you on next week's episode when I try and get the Truma water heater mounted in. Thanks for watching. Cheers.